My name is Jeanine, and I work in the plastics industry, and I'm 51 years old.
What were you struggling with specifically prior to starting with me what really triggered you to find help?
Besides the fact of being overweight, I struggle with severe arthritis.
Okay.
And that seems to hinder my exercise, in which then in turn would affect the way I was eating. um I don't think that maybe I was eating the best foods for the arthritis. So I think the change in my eating habits, led me to be able to start walking on a daily basis, and then going into the cardio.
Wow. So you were struggling with, a lot of pain, obviously, before working with me. And so how did that evolve from when we started? What did you notice a difference in pain tolerance, or not tolerance, but level of pain? And did it diminish throughout the program?
So definitely diminished. I probably went on having arthritis flare-ups a couple of times a week, sometimes to the point where it was, difficult to get out of bed. If I was, in the car for too long, it was hard to get out of the car. It would take my body some time to kind of get moving and warm up. But I noticed that following the eating plan, with the specific recipes, I felt like I didn't have as much inflammation, which then in turn, I wasn't having as many arthritis flare-ups. So now I'm probably down to maybe a couple of times a month. And it seems to be more now that when there's a change in our weather, when it goes from warm to cold, or when it's going to rain, I know, that I'm going to have some pain. But I have to say, pain level probably went from a 10 down to probably a 4 or 5.
That's incredible feedback. I'm so happy that you were able to make that much of a change in just the pain tolerance alone. I know a lot of personal friends of mine who've had injuries and have chronic arthritis throughout their body. It's to the point where they're using medications for pain, and that's never a route we want to go. So anything like this that can really take away the pain without medications is such a great opportunity to just avoid having to go down that unhealthy route of medicating and maybe even using too many opioids or something in the future, because that's so common. So I'm glad that you were able to receive a lot of pain relief throughout the program. That is, in my notes, one of the major goals that you had, along with dropping at least 20 pounds. And in this program, you've dropped so far 35. So were you shocked at all by that the fact that you dropped so much, or did you kind of have, an idea that this is going to work for you from the start? How did that unfold for you?
Well, I would have been okay with 20 pounds. I knew I wanted to do at least 30. And I just from the very beginning had, honestly, I'm a person, I have no willpower. I'm the type of person that I can't just have, maybe 10 or 12 potato chips. I have to eat the whole bag. So I set my mind that I wasn't going to buy anything except what I was cooking and meal planning for. And I did the same for my husband as well, although there was certain things he wouldn't eat, like he doesn't eat turkey. So I would just find something different to meal prep for him. And I just kind of pre-warned him, I'm not having the extras in the house. We're not having the French silk pie. We're not making cupcakes. This is what we're eating, and that's it. Now, if you want something extra, you have to leave the house and go somewhere else and eat it. So I just set my mind to this is what I need to do for my health. And I just stuck with it. I just felt I had no option. I had to do this.
That is the mindset that really wins us in the end. And now that you have those parameters set in the household, you've built the willpower, maybe one or two things around the house, but not much. But you also, how much did your husband lose during this process?
Probably about 25-ish pounds.
Wow. Yeah. So both of you got in better shape than you've been in a few years.
Yeah, yes, and like I said, he didn't, he didn't follow any of the parameters where I followed it to the T.
Yeah.
So yeah, just me meal planning for him and portion sizing for him worked as well.
From here on out, taking from this program and implementing for the rest of your life, or maybe at least for the longer duration of your life?
Well, at this point, I understand that, instead of eating out 2, 3 times a week, that's just going to be, maybe once, twice a month at the most. I've learned that I can make great recipes. I can vary the recipes and I stay satisfied and I don't have to worry about eating anything that I shouldn't be.